Next up, we have Gamma Frequency from the To The Core soundtrack by username here. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, members get early access, artists, I want to collab with you. I have a whole spiel for this at the end of the video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video if you want to read it in full. Otherwise, let's go ahead and do this. Gamma Frequency. Let's go. Okay, so we have a quick build up to this. We bring in a chopped chord in a synth while the drums are giving us our initial hi-hat. Man, this is cool. So, this could be a rhythmic motif, and it's getting a remake soon. Oh, then I'll wait for it then. So, we have this going on with yes, we have could be a rhythmic motif. So usually your motif is going to be the smallest version of your musical idea, the essence from which everything else comes from, and usually it's in the context of a melody. Usually it's going to be a melody. However, there is an exception where you have rhythmic motifs. So by the way, when you have music, you have three components: melody, harmony, rhythm. Rhythm being the use of time. When things happen, how fast things happen, your beat, all that kind of stuff. And what we are doing right now is that we are having the artist playing one chord and holding the chord, and then in post-production, chopping up that file. So let me give you a visual representation, right? So let's say this right here is your audio file of your chord being played. Let's see, let's bring this thing. Yeah, I know, I have the keyboard now. So let's say we have this, right? And it's playing, and this is just as long as it takes for the keyboard to play, and that's the audio file. And what is happening over here is that we are taking it's going to be one of two ways. One is that we are taking this, chopping this, then moving this forward, then taking that again, moving forward, creating this like chopped versions of the material, or the second approach, which is that we are taking this, cutting this entirely, then bringing this, cutting this entirely, bringing this, cutting this entirely. Those are the two main ways that you can chop your music around. They're gonna have similar ways, and of course, in this case, we're having like the one hit plus the chopped version, hit, chopped, hit, chopped, which sounds to be a rhythmic motif or just our initial beat. It could be our initial beat. So we might still get a motif. Let's see where it goes. Nicely, Chadwick. Nice. All right, there we go. Okay, there we go. We bring the motif. So it turns out that wasn't a rhythmic. I mean, it is a rhythmic motif, but most importantly, that was our accompaniment. And this is very common in most music. You bring your accompaniment first to acclimate the audience to whichever feeling or vibe you're going for before introducing your main motif. This is very, very common. Not as common in older classical music, but it is fairly common nowadays, considering how relatively more straightforward music is nowadays. So let's see where this goes. So now we're engaging the same. So I think we're doing the rhythmic motif, and on top of that, we're doing a melodic motif. And we are chopping. You're doing the same chopping to that melodic motif with the rhythmic motif, doing both at the same time. Let's see. Ooh, this is really cool. Ooh, Okay, we had a brief moment where we got rid of the drums. This I call going off the ramp is a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial. By that I mean there's no official academic definition for this, or at least I'm not using it for the sake of simplicity. And off the ramp is what I call a transition. It can be as short as a couple of beats, as it was over here. It can, and usually when it's before a drop, I think it's called a hook. I still call it off a ramp because it's better. I like that term better. So it can also be as long as an entire section, and the point of it is to make your listener feel suspended up in the air at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where you land. How do you do it? Remove the drums. Maybe the bass as well, which is what happened over here. We kept the motifs, and now we bring in stronger drums still. Let's see where this goes. And now it's unchopped, yep. Okay, so we're having the motif now not chopped anymore, and we are panning it left to right, right to left. We're panning it between the ears. We're having the bass doing a bass line, a very nice bass line, and let me just explain the concept of panning, right? So panning in music or in audio is when you're... let me just put it here. Panning is when you have your audio focusing on a single channel. So what are channels, right? Channels is the number of speakers that you have available for your tracks. For example, in this case, this is a stereo track. It is when you shit. Yeah, no, that was just me accidentally moving things on Microsoft Paint because I'm not that good at Microsoft Paint. So, the number of channels we've had, there's mono, which is a single channel thing where it means there's one single track that goes toward however many speakers you have. Then there's stereo, which is the standard that we have nowadays, which means two tracks, two channels for two tracks. This track that is playing over here, this piece that they're playing, it is two separate tracks playing independently from one another, one on the left, one on one channel, one on the other, and because it's stereo, we're going to have one on the left ear, one on the right ear, and they're both going to play together as a single composition. Then after that we have surround. Surround, there's several types of surround. We have 3.1, 5.1, 7.1. I think there are places that already have 9.1. The 0.1 means the subwoofer, the bass speaker, and then 3 means you have the 2 from stereo plus 1 more, then 5, and you just keep adding more and more and more and more and more. The standard that we have nowadays is stereo because, well, human beings, 2 ears, left, right. Most of us either wear headphones or we have cheaper set of speakers. So, you have the left ear, the right ear. You have you here, all happy, deformed, and bald. I accidentally gave you a little bit of hair there. And bald, and therefore evil. So, the way this works, right? So, how does panning work? Panning works when you focus one channel over the other. How does this work, right? So, let's say we have a guitar track playing. If the guitar track is playing at full volume on both the left ear and the right ear, the audio is going to sound like it comes from straight forward ahead of us. However, the more you lower the volume on one track, the further to the other side it's going to sound, up until the point in which it sounds all the way to the right. There's 2 types that I call. There's one that is passive, and then there's active. Passive means at the start of my music file, I say, okay, guitar 1 is going on the right ear, and it stays there. And throughout the entirety of the track, it stays there. Active panning is a little bit more complicated because it's going to be like, okay, guitar 1 from 0 to 45 seconds in is going to be on the right ear. Then from 45 seconds over to 50 seconds, it's going to move over to the left ear, and then from 50 seconds until let's say from 50 seconds over to 130, then it stays on left ear, and then at 130 it goes back to the right. Same thing. So that is active panning. Is a bit more complicated process, but it is what we're getting over here with the melody bouncing back and forth between the ears, making it a more immersive experience. Let's see where this goes. So now we have another synth at the top giving us the rhythmic motif once again. So while we have the melodic motif bouncing back and forth, we are now having the rhythmic motif engaging in some pretty cool counterpoint. I like it. Counterpoint, by the way, counterpoint being the study of melodies, how they interact with one another, usually how they develop in the context of having more than one melody at the same time. So let's see where this goes. Ooh, brief moment there. We bring back the original. Ooh. The original motif. The original motif. With this version. And the motif, this melody that we're getting, this new version of the rhythmic motif with this melody is engaging in sequencing. Sequencing being when you repeat a musical idea shape-wise just from a different point in the scale. So if I bring my keyboard over here, which you should be able to hear, let's bring in our very simple C major motif. If we do that, that's our motif, that's the original. If we sequence it, then we can just start. If we sequence it, then we just start over the same melodic shape after the original, just from a different starting point. So let's say we have the original here, and if we sequence it up, then again, we can continue doing that. We can do that downwards as well. Or we can even do leaps. We can just make as many combinations of this as you want, as long as it fits whatever needs your music might have, right? So we're having that. It's a very cool way of adding more material to this. Let's see where it goes. Oh, the sequencing very, very nice. So now we bring it down an octave to a lower register. Basically doing the same thing. Interesting, I like it. So we basically turned down the volume and we panned it a little bit farther to the back. And in doing that, it's sounding like it's going from the top to the sides, even though I think it's the same melody. Ooh, boy. Let's see where this goes. Off the ramp again. We bring the melodic motif with a Geiger counter. Nice. I like it. So we now have the Geiger counter as percussion. That is giving us our beat over there. And I think it's doing a variation of the rhythmic motif. Let me hear it more. Oh, the motif is getting even faster. There we go. The rhythmic second motif. The rhythmic motif with melody, I guess. Sequenced. Nice. Without the... Ooh, we bring just the bass drum. Oh, nice. Oh, this is really cool. And off the ramp, we bring this version of the motif back. While there's other synths back again playing those chords. Man, this is really good. Let's see where it goes. Ooh, off the ramp band. And we reach the climax. Now we are doing everything we've done before. We bring this back. It sounds even more climactic because we just had a moment of turning down the temperature a little bit. Because when you're making music, in general, you want your music to undulate, kind of like breathing, right? Like you want some sort of undulation. But before your climax, you want to bring down the temperature a little bit more so that even if you come back up to the same place, the distance covered, it is greater. And therefore, it's going to feel more pronounced. And it's exactly what happened over here. Let's see where this goes.
There we go. We're revisiting as much material as we can.
Maybe, Cam, maybe. Let's see, sequence, yep. Off the ramp, now we're off the ramp, we go to probably the outro. We remove the drums, we're just doing basically the melody we did over here, just an octave lower. Let's see. Yep, and we're doing the same thing with the sequencing. One more repetition. How are you gonna end this? Okay, we engage. And we fade away. So, the difference between a fade out and a fade away, because this one fades away, which I don't really see why, because you could just let it end and then it, like, let that motif play one last time and then just cut it there, but whatever, that's your choice. Maybe it's because it loops on the game, I don't know. But the difference between a fade out and a fade away. Fade outs I dislike severely. Fade outs I do not. A fade away I do not. Fadeaways, so it loops. Okay, so in the game it loops. Therefore, for the YouTube version, you can't have it playing for infinite time, so you just fade it away, which makes sense. However, thankfully, we engaged here in a fade away instead of a fade out. The fade away is, we already went through the climax. The song already feels over. This is the remnants of the song playing, or the piece playing, that just goes through, right? Like we're turning the volume down on that. A fade out would be this. Wait, fade out is this. Like you can feel, wrong button, wrong button. You can feel that the song is not over when the volume gets turned down. That's a fade out. That I consider to be extremely lazy because it means you didn't finish your music. A fade away, the song feels over. It's already over. We're just hearing the remnant. We're letting that echo out. So I make a big difference there. I find fadeaways to be considerably more acceptable than fade outs. And in this case, there's actually a technical aspect to this as well, which means, pretty insensitive to repetitiveness, even if it's got a pretty bad attention span. For me, it just has to sound cool. And for everybody, it's going to be different. For everybody, it's going to be different. You don't need for the music to be 100% stimulating every single aspect of your brain every single time. When it comes to game music, I just fall back to my graph, right? Like I have my graph. I'm so happy that I can just make it right now. I still need a name for this. I still really need a name for this, but basically, it's the same shape as the Uncanny Valley, right? It's the same shape as the Uncanny Valley, where there's the immersion of the player, and then there's the quality of music. So you have the immersion of the player, you have the quality of music, and basically this is a universal value when it comes to games. The better the music and the audio, the more usually in the immersion quality value, I don't know, but the better the audio is, the more locked in, the more immersed you are, the more locked in you are to what is happening on the game. The less you're thinking about the controls themselves, the less you're thinking about anything else, the more you are locked in. There's a point in which it drops. The music is so good, you just have to stop. You have to stop the game and just enjoy the music. And then it goes right back up where the music is insane. It's amazing. It's the best you've ever heard. You are locked in. You are having the time of your life. Being over here is perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Like the place you really don't want to be is down here. This is where you don't want to be, where your music is so shit that it distracts the player, or the audio is so shit that it distracts the player and the player has to go and mute it. This is where you don't want to be. This up here you want to be. This area you want to be. This right here is the ideal. But over here, yeah. And you don't need much more than that. This one over here, I would put probably around here. It was really good, very engaging, really cool motifs, and there's that. Thing called line, no need for two squares, you're welcome. Yeah, but I'm used to this by now. Because if I draw a line, there's no guarantee that I will draw it straight the first time around. So with the square, there is. That's why I draw a square, because there's no guarantee that I'll make a 90-degree line. Use shift. Oh, now I told you I'm not good at paint. All right, okay, thank you. Now I know. Anyway, there you have it. That was Gamma Frequency from the To The Core soundtrack. That was really fun. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, if we somehow hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube before Christmas of 2025, I will take a single fan fiction of the choice of the community, and I will fully produce, record, and voice act an audiobook for it. We have a member who offered to do a Discord Nitro giveaway. If you want to offer anything else, or if you have any more ideas for me, just let me know, reach out, and we'll make as much of it happen as possible. This has to be achieved through legitimate and honest means only. No account duping, no botting, no buying followers, no rat behaviors like that. Go instead share the videos, the streams with your friends, with your families, with your family's friends, with your friends' families. Those are two distinct concepts, by the way. With your online communities, whatever it is. Use the hype function on YouTube. I don't know how it works, but we have a group on the Discord that does. Link down below. Go coordinate with them. And artists, username here, or any other musician on YouTube. If you want to collaborate with me, feel free to reach out. I am more than happy to provide my guitars or my Mongolian throat singing. You know, the good old kind of thing, or voice acting, or singing, or composition. Anything you want. Just reach out. Let me know. And if you're in the audience and you know, and this goes for anyone on YouTube that wants to collaborate, let's make it happen. And if you're in the audience and you know an artist that could benefit, just let them know. Reach out. Do not harass anyone. Do not spam anyone. Please do not be a rat about it. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. So become a member today. So, there's that. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I will be linking it in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you're not in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. They're both linked down below. So, if you live in Kanduhulhudo, Maldives, and you're like, yeah, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Don't worry. Just go to the Discord or the Twitch, both linked down below, and they show the schedule in your local time zone. And, yeah. Follow the gaming channel as well. We have a gaming channel, because of course I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games Are Basterd. That's where I put the gaming after show recordings when they happen. Link down below, or just search on YouTube for the same username as James R. Basterd. Just swap the J for a G, and you got it. Games get recorded on the live stream, and then the recordings go to the gaming channel. So there you go. And yeah. There you go. That was Gamma Frequency To The Core soundtrack. That was a lot of fun, dude. That was a lot of fun. Good stuff, good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.